Alright, what is up, you homunculi? We are back with Ring of Honor 2004, episode 1010, a milestone. I think this is one of the longest running series I have on this channel. Even though I've missed a few weeks, I sometimes take breaks. Sometimes I upload early, like last week. I was going on a trip for state for wrestling, so I didn't have time to upload, but we're back with a consistent upload. Hopefully, I don't know, probably not. Anyway, let's run this show. We got Ring of Honor Wrestling, the TV show, being held in front of 1,000 people, a sellout at the Bank St. Armory in the New England region. We're branching out. We're not just going to run in the tri-state. No, no, no. But we are going to start the show with Bryan Danielson in a segment where he claims Hogan is an old-timer who doesn't know when to quit the business, which is quite honestly the truth. Hulk Hogan doesn't know when to quit, but that doesn't matter. Bryan Danielson, 98 A-star. Perfect, almost. Any improvements? No, but that is a great angle. And then next up we have Ace Steel taking on Dan Maff in a match that had decent wrestling but not much heat. Ace Steel defeats Dan in 7:21 by pinfall with a twist of cane. 51 from Ace, 50 from Steel, 51 D plus overall. No improvements. Yeah, look at all that. Ooh, only negatives are from Dan, and content risk being low. Come on, alright. I forgot about that because we brought up the hardcore rating. But that doesn't matter. In a decent match, Low Key defeats Matt Sydal in 12:05 by pinfall with a Key Crusher 99. Matt Sydal debuts his Show Stealer gimmick, which got a rating of awful. 71 from Low Key, 40 from Matt Sydal, 58 C- overall, not too bad. Next up, we got Christopher Daniels taking on Astro Boy in the main event. In a superb match, Christopher Daniels defeats Astro Boy in 16:43 by pinfall with a BME, best moonsault ever. Poorly placed, but whatever. 79-63, no improvements. And, Christopher Daniels, he was celebrating. He was like, yeah, I beat some Mexican dude. And all of a sudden, like, how many is that? 6 guys? They storm the ring and they start beating the shit out of him. Like they have like knives, like not really knives, just a bunch of hardcore weapons, like some like blades and shit. And they start fucking just beating him up like a madman over here. He's got scissors in his mouth. They just start cutting him the fuck up. He's just bleeding to death, basically. It's like that Mike Levy incident, except worse. It's just terrible. He just gets beaten to death, above average, very good, legendary. Necro has a legendary gimmick, let's go. Very good, average, not too bad. Christopher Daniels was good, so that's good. And no improvements, 57 C-, and we end the show with a 70 C+, increasing our popularity in 2 regions. That is fantastic. So I'll catch you guys at the next episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling. We're going to book the entire month in this episode. We're going to start having longer episodes now. I will book full months each episode. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, we're back with the second episode this month of Ring of Honor Wrestling. Let's get right into it. And we're in front of 4,413 people at Cornell University of Barton Hall. And to start off the show, we have the Second City Saints. They're in the ring with Slugger, and they introduce him as their new bodyguard to protect them from people like the Briscoe brothers. Not much, just 59 C, just here to, I don't know, do something with Slugger. I want to push him. I don't know why. I just think it would be interesting to try to get him really over. Any worker improvements? No, 59 C. And then we give Slugger a match versus Justin Credible. In about that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Slugger defeats Justin in 8:33 by pinfall with a body bag, 33 E+. That was terrible. A pretty vocal crowd did not seem particularly thrilled with seeing Slugger wrestle. Well, too fucking bad. You're gonna fucking get the Slugger. Visually tiring towards the end, so hopefully that can get boosted eventually. 33 plus, I think I've already said that like 8 times. Next segment, we have Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Xavier, Nigel, and Necro in the ring. Well, alright, back up. I'm just listing it off. Daniels, Styles, Samoa Joe, Xavier, and Nigel McGuinness are in the ring. Daniels talks about just the ass whooping he received last week. You know, he's still got some scabs all over him. He's just looking like he got fucked up. And he says he's got these 4 men right here, and they're willing to take on the IWA in a match this week for revenge, and they accept. I couldn't get everybody in the angle, so I just put Necro in there, and he's their messenger. He's like, yeah, we'll fuck you up. It doesn't fucking matter. We're IWA. Fuck yeah. It's got to be a first blood match, though, because we're hardcore. And Daniels is like, what, fucking, okay, whatever, dude. I just want to beat your ass. And then 62C. I honestly don't know how to explain these angles. Next segment, we have the match with IWA, Too Tough Tony, Corporal Robinson, Ian Rotten, Axel Rotten, and Necro taking on, I already messed up, Loki was supposed to be Xavier. But they were taking on Styles, Daniels, Nigel, Loki, and Samoa Joe. Loki's in the story. I added too many people to the storyline, but he's technically in it. It doesn't matter. It's just no continuity on my part. I forgot to look at it. It doesn't matter. In a decent match, IWA defeats ROH in a first blood match in 18 minutes and 30 seconds when Corporal Robinson was eliminated first, then Too Tough Tony, then Ian Rotten, then Axel Rotten, then Nigel, then Loki, then AJ, then Samoa, and finally Daniels. During the match we also had Madman Pondo run in and attack Nigel McGuinness. Why Nigel? I don't know. I forgot that it would be elimination, so I just wanted Nigel to be the one that would bleed because he's the lowest overall. So yeah, that's just kind of, I'm not too sure how to book the match. So anyway, we got a lot of not suited to his gimmicks. We got tirings, we got Daniels looked excellent, AJ looked good. A lot of people wrestled pretty well, like Styles and Low Key. Daniels wrestled great, Nigel wrestled pretty good. But IWA, they weren't that great. Necro got a 43 though, that's pretty decent. Worker improvements, Joe and Rumble, Corporal and Rumble, excellent technical and excellent performance skills, 65C. Necro was high on drugs too, it really affected his performance, that's fine, I mean he wrestled pretty decent. So, and next up we have Danielson, the champion, taking on Jimmy Rave in a decent match, a good match with decent reaction from the crowd. Brian defeats Jimmy in 13:05 by submission with a cattle mutilation. I think that's the first time I actually said it right. 66 C+, 85 from Danielson, you know. And Hogan was on commentary, just ripping into him, talking how he's like garbage as champion. I don't know. I just put Hogan there to increase the storyline. Just leave me alone. And we got a 60 C+, or just a C. Ian was choose too much. I am fucking garbage right now. Too Tough Tony was used too much, and it only increased our popularity in one region. Still, it's not too bad. Triple H, look at him. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, we're back with the 3rd episode of Ring of Honor Wrestling this month. And we will run the show, and it starts off with Christopher Daniels. He calls out Necro Butcher, and he's like, I want you, you pussy. And Necro's like, fuck you. And he's like, Daniels is like, okay, fight me. You won't, pussy? And then Necro's like, alright, bet. Tables match. In like 2 segments. And Daniels is like, fuck yeah. And so 67C+. That happens. Next up, we got Super Crazy taking on Jay Lethal in a bout that had great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Super Crazy defeats Jay in 8:29 by pinfall with a crazy bomb. 70C+. Pretty good from both people. Super Crazy is actually getting better at his gimmick. Jay is improving in performance skills, so that's pretty good. Next up, we have the match between Necro and Daniels in a tables match that is good. Christopher Daniels defeats Necro in a tables match when Necro is put through a table with a last rites after interference from Steve Corino. And I forgot to put another segment in it, but next up, IWA challenges Steve Corino, who only interfered in the match to help save Ring of Honor. He explains that in the segment. He's like, Daniels, I helped you because I don't want to see Ring of Honor become a garbage promotion. I don't want to see it become something like ECW that gets a pretty good amount of boos. But then Necker Butcher grabs a microphone or just yells. I don't know. It's a pretty small area. It's 300 people at a high school because we're in like the Great Lakes. I want to spread out. I want to go around the country. Anyway, so he's like, Steve, we are gonna make this promotion hardcore, and the best way to do it is the King of the Deathmatch tournament. I challenge you to survive, and if you win, we will tone it down or something. I don't fucking know. They just challenge him to the King of the Deathmatch, and he's like, if this'll get you guys to fuck off, then yeah. And then 77B, Jesus Christ, these storylines. I just really want to do the King of the Deathmatch. I don't know how to put it into the storyline. I just want to make it a thing every month or every year. So 77B. And in the main event, I think, yeah. In a poor match, the Second City Saints defeat the Briscoe Brothers and the Carnage Crew in 15:56 when Slugger defeats HC Lock by pinfall with a body bag. Pretty vocal crowd didn't like Slugger. Slugger was visibly tiring. That's all fine. It's a pretty decent in-ring stuff from everybody. 44D plus overall. This is going to be a terrible show, but that doesn't matter. We increased the population in 2 regions. I assume that was the one that we were running the show in, and probably the New England area. 58 C- overall, not too bad. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, we're up here with the final episode this month before the King of the Deathmatch, so let's run it. We have Hulk Hogan, he's in the ring, he gets a promo on Bryan Daniels, and he calls him a bastard. I don't know, he's just Hulk Hogan. Well, he's Hulk Hogan, he wouldn't say bastard, he would just say he's not cool. I don't know, he's Hulk Hogan. Face, he's wearing red and yellow, not black and white. Next up, we have Necker Butcher taking on Jack Evans in a bout that had decent wrestling but not much heat. Necker defeats Jack by submission in 7:33, 52-48 for Necro and Jack respectively. 52D plus overall. Jack is improving in performance skills. Next up, we have Bad Breed, Axel and Ian Rotten taking on the Spanish announce team when Axel defeated Joey Jose, not Joey, I'm retarded, 12-29. Pretty vocal crowd, didn't want to see Ian wrestle. 33-46 for the Rotten Brothers, not too good. Joel and Jose have 55 and 66, so better than them. 51D plus overall. Axel's improving in technical skills. Next up, we have IWA, aka Too Tough Tony, Corporal Robinson, and Madman Pondo taking on Samoa Joe, Xavier, and AJ Styles, and in a match that was decent, IWA defeats Ring of Honor in a First Blood match again in 11:06. Too Tough Tony was eliminated first, then Corporal, then Xavier, then Samoa, and finally AJ Styles. Necro Butcher comes in and attacks Xavier to eliminate him first. He probably cuts him up, I don't know. Too Tough Tony is not very well liked by the people. We got Madman Pondo's actually decent in the ring. He's got a 62. Storyline continues, and Corporal is improving. 56 C-. And in the main event, we have Hulk Hogan taking on Astro Boy 2, who gets defeated in a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling by leg drop of Doom, 69 C+, just to give a nice little rating at the end, and it also had Brian on commentary to end the show. 69 C+, pretty good. So I'll see you guys at the big event. Alright, we're finally here at the King of the Deathmatch 2004, so let's get right into it. And here we have the reveal of the first round matchups, including Corporal Robinson taking on Steve Corino, Just Incredible, Madman Pondo, Ian Rotten taking on an unknown competitor to be announced when the time is right, and Necro Butcher taking on Homicide. So let's go ahead and get right into them. First up, we got Corporal Robinson taking on Steve Corino, and about that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Steve Corino defeats Corporal Robinson in a death match in 12:03 by pinfall with an old school expulsion. Not really much to say besides Steve Corino did a really good job. Improving in performance skills, surprising enough, 71C plus overall. And we have Ian Rotten taking on the surprise opponent in Nick Mondo. Woo! And about that, a decent wrestling but little heat. Nick Mondo defeated Ian Rotten in a first blood match because Ian wouldn't do a death match in 8:38 when Ian Rotten was busted open. Ian Rotten sustained a liver laceration. Nick Mondo debuted his Extremist gimmick, got great. Ian got a 50, 45 from Nick, 51D plus overall. Not much improvement. I don't know why I said that weird. Next segment, Ian Rotten suffered a liver laceration. And here's the updated bracket. I kind of messed up here. Originally I had Madman Pondo taking on Just Incredible right after Steve Corino and Ian Rotten, god damn it. I am fucking retarded. Corporal Robinson, Steve Corino, and then Justin and Madman. But I switched it around, and I didn't change the other pictures, so excuse that mess up. But we have the next round matchup revealed and ready. And next up, we have in about that decent wrestling but little heat. Madman Pondo takes on Just Incredible in a death match in 10:56 by submission. Madman Pondo makes defense number 5 of his IWA Mid-South Heavyweight title. He decided he wanted to put the title on the line, so we put it on the line. Madman was visibly tiring. Just Incredible had an in-ring performance of 29, 54 from Madman. 51 D plus overall, no improvements. So next up, we have Necro taking on Homicide. In a decent match, Homicide defeats Necro Butcher in a death match in 13:36 by pinfall with a cop killer. Homicide sustained a hand contusion. I have no idea what that is. Smokes did good work at ringside. Who's he managing? Is he managing Homicide? Color commentary gave the match a boost, 49-44. Not much else to say about that. And now we have the matchups for the rest of the round 2. Let's get right into those right after Hulk Hogan announces that Bryan Danielson will not be at the show because he skipped town to avoid losing his title to the great Hulk Hogan. And then we got Steve Corino taking on Nick Mondo, and this is the reason I signed Nick Mondo is I actually kind of wanted to see this match. This match seems like it would be pretty good. So in about that, good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Steve Corino defeats Nick Mondo in a death match in 13:27 by pinfall with a super kick. Steve Corino stood out as being good. Nick Mondo got a 77B overall. And we go into the next segment of Madman Pondo taking on Homicide, and in a decent match, Pondo defeats Homicide in a death match in 12:35 by pinfall. Pondo makes defense number 6 of his IWA Mid-South title. And that, brings up the finals of Steve Corino taking on Madman Pondo. And we'll have to see what happens there. If Steve Corino wins, IWA tries not to take over Ring of Honor. But if he loses, who knows what's going to happen. So let's get into it. Oh wait, hold on. Madman Pondo and Homicide had pretty good chemistry. I'll remember that. 56C minus overall. And Steve Corino comes out ready for the match. He's got a mic in his hand. He starts calling Pondo a bunch of names. Pondo grabs a mic and he starts calling him a bunch of names. They just start going back and forth for a few minutes. 83B plus. And in the finals, wow. And about that, had great wrestling and good heat. Steve Corino defeats Madman Pondo in a death match in 22:30 by pinfall with an old school expulsion. Steve wins the King of the Deathmatch title. Pretty good stuff from both guys. 78B. And then next up, we have in the main event the Briscoe brothers taking on Second City Saints, all 4 of them. And about that had decent wrestling but not much heat. the Second City Saints defeat the Briscoe brothers, obviously, in 27-32, and CM Punk defeats Jay Briscoe with an Anaconda Vice. I thought this was going to be better than that. I just wanted to end the feud because it's been going on for quite a while. And that looked like the wrong way to do it. So we're going to end the show. Not good at all. We use Nick Namondo too much. We use Slogger too much. We increased popularity in 3 regions, and it lost us in 1. I'm not going to make a speech. But I'll see you guys in the next episode, episode 11. Make sure you tune in. I don't know. This has been a terrible episode.